Yo, welcome back. Today we are diving into Chapter 1 of I Bought Land and Started a Farm in Another World. Let's follow the story of Itonami Norio. So, our story starts off in this grand fantasy kingdom that is dealing with some major crisis before our guy even gets summoned. Suddenly, the magic circle on the floor starts glowing like crazy, and a massive boom rattles the entire hall. Thick white smoke starts rising from the circle and lightning is crackling all over the place. It's wild. As the smoke slowly clears away, a bunch of people start appearing from the bright light. It's a group of high school students, and they're sitting on the floor in total panic, like, what is this? What just happened? One guy is completely freaking out and says, wait, just a second ago we were all on the bus heading to school. Then the king, standing way up on his high throne, explains that their kingdom has been warring with demons for years, and they are in massive debt. He's like, yeah, we're on the verge of a total disaster, which is why we summoned you guys from another world to save us. He points right at the students and declares, and those brave heroes are all of you. The minister bows down and thanks them for answering King Genesis, the 18th's emergency summons. The students are whispering like, summoned? Heroes, is this king actually for real right now? The minister steps up and says they need to measure everyone's divine skills right away using this appraisal crystal. This popular girl named Momoko steps up first, and the crystal erupts into this blinding golden light. Her status screen pops up showing she got a super rare cheat skill called the Goddess Sai. The minister is in awe and explains that skills are divine blessings granted by the gods when you enter this world. He tells them that otherworlders are meant to put their insane abilities to use for the greater good of their world. Students are super excited, realizing they basically got cheat code RPG stats in this new fantasy world. The minister keeps hyping up Momoko, saying her goddess scythe can turn high-class demons into dust with just one swing. Meanwhile, standing way in the back of the line, our main guy Norio is waiting and feeling super nervous. But when Norio finally steps up to the appraisal crystal, the status display flashes with a shocking result. Special ability? None. Yep, the screen literally confirms it. Name, Itonami Norio. Job, undecided. Level 1. Special ability, none. Norio is just standing there staring at the screen in complete disbelief and confusion, like, are you kidding me? The entire throne room goes completely dead silent. You can literally feel the awkwardness in the air. The minister yells out in utter shock, special ability. None. How is that even possible? His basic status window is projected for all the nobles to see, proving he has zero combat capabilities. Looking at his blank status, Norio starts flashing back to his former life back in Japan, walking up those subway stairs. He remembers standing on the freezing train platform every single morning alongside exhausted salarymen. He sighs, remembering what it was like wasting away as a corporate drone boarding that packed morning train. He recalls being crammed inside those commuter cars like sardines, completely crushed against the doors. He remembers thinking to himself, man, it's not like I want to get on this train, but I have to. Norio remembers holding onto the overhead strap, just trying to survive another boring workday commute. Suddenly, a terrifying metal screeching sound echoed through the train car as he looked up in panic. The train crashed, a blinding white light engulfed everything, and Norio suddenly felt completely weightless. Next thing he knows, he opens his eyes and finds himself floating in a silent, pure white void. Then he looks up and sees this cute floating goddess who greets him super casually. I'm a god, yeah? Norio is completely stunned and just goes, wait. He looks at his hands and asks, wait, did I actually die in that train crash? The goddess giggles and goes, yep, and you're about to be summoned to another world. My daddy picked you out, yeah? She starts floating around him in the void, posing and looking super happy. Norio is like, daddy, wait, is your dad the king of gods, Zeus? She winks at him, saying, this time I'll be the one taking care of you. She explains that she's a summoning administrator in charge of transfer skills. She smiles and says, you're really good at making things, yeah? So I'm going to give you a special skill right now. She holds out this glowing orb and says, I gave my absolute best effort preparing this for you. Norio watches as the magic orb sparkles with divine energy in her hands. She proudly reveals the skill's name, Master of Supremacy. Norio is like, wait, what the hell is that? She warns him that it might be a bit tricky to use at first, but she knows he'll figure it out. Her final words echo, the skill I poured my heart into, Master of Supremacy. Make sure to use it in your new world. And then, crash. With a sudden magic screech, Norio snaps right back to reality in the king's throne room. Back in the throne room, the king is looking at Norio's status sheet with total frustration. He realizes Norio has zero offensive stats or spells for fighting the demon armies. Norio realizes this is exactly what happened before he arrived in this hall. The king and minister are whispering, looking super troubled by his lack of skills. The minister is complaining that there's no precedent for a hero having 0 skills. Norio thinks, well, I sure can't fight against demons or things like that. The king calls out to the other heroes, telling them they must prepare for war. Norio is just standing there feeling completely out of place in this royal chamber. Norio asks if they can send them back, but the minister admits they have no way of doing that. Norio is shocked and goes, wait, you don't mean you can't send us back? The minister nods, confirming they are stuck in this world forever. He says, it's rumored that only the Demon King knows the spell to return people to their original world. So he tells Norio, that's exactly why you will go to the front lines and fight his armies. Norio immediately objects. Since I don't have any combat skills, I can't do that. The king and minister are super annoyed and perplexed by his attitude. The guards stand by as the atmosphere gets tense. Then Norio makes a crazy proposal. May I have a plot of land instead? The king grunts in surprise, totally not expecting this. Norio says, I don't mind if it's far away from your cities. I'll plow the land and live out my life in solitude. He decides, I can't go home anyway. Might as well put that corporate wage slave life behind me. He literally drops his corporate briefcase on the floor with a thump. In this world, He looks forward with absolute determination. Live out my second life. So, a royal carriage drops him off at the edge of the kingdom, where the soldier points to a massive, desolate wilderness. He tells Norio that this unexplored land lies outside their kingdom, and he's free to live here however he chooses along with the stipend he was given. The soldier adds, but this land isn't regulated. What lies beyond here is not kingdom territory. That means you won't have to pay us any taxes? Well, if you can even farm here. He bids Norio farewell, saying from now on, humanity won't ask anything of you. Do as you please whether you live or die. Norio watches him walk away, standing all alone in the quiet valley. Norio looks at his new home. Now then, he waves goodbye now. He smiles to himself. My new life begins right here. He thinks, I can do without that desperate king and his people anyway. He's so glad to be away from the salarim and stress, corporate bosses, and royal demands. He starts exploring the beautiful valley, looking for resources. He enjoys the fresh air and the beautiful scenery, completely out of the kingdom's reach. Norio cheers with excitement. There's no spot better than this. I'll stay here and make this place my own little kingdom. First, he needs to find water. I have to secure some water first. He finds a nearby body of water. By the looks of it, is this seawater? Let's check it out. Is this fresh water? A freshwater lake? He walks closer to the water's edge to inspect it. Suddenly, the water starts splashing like crazy. A giant monster octopus leaps right out of the lake. Norio is like, wait, do octopi even live in shallow freshwater? He grabs the thrashing octopus. I got you. He struggles to hold it. Whatever, I'm getting food one way or another. He slips on the mud, but manages to land the giant creature. He looks at the giant octopus he just caught, thinking of how to cook it. He wonders if he has any seasoning. He takes a deep breath, phew. He tastes the lake water again, so damn salty. He's totally confused. Why, I thought it was sweet earlier. He realizes part of the lake connects to the sea or contains salt. He checks another section of the water. He tastes it and confirms, this part is sweet. He thinks anyway water won't be a problem. Amazing. Let's eat. I'll boil this octopus with some of that salt water. He prepares to light a campfire, my first fire. He gathers wood. I think I have to carve a hole into a dry wooden plank to start it. He recalls the survival method. Then move the embers created by friction onto the leaf and rotate the stick by hand. He puts his back into it, fighting spirit. I have to put my heart into this. He is determined to make it work no matter what. He spins the stick rapidly between his hands, creating friction. He groans from the effort. Smoke starts rising from the dry wood. The fire catches instantly and begins to burn warmly. He sets up a small cooking pot over the flames. He boils the octopus in the salt water to season it. He carves a bowl and chopsticks, eating the boiled octopus. I even made this bowl and chopsticks. The fire lit up so easily. Delicious. He takes another bite, enjoying the fresh seafood. He pauses, thinking about how easy the crafting and fire starting was. He recalls the goddess Hephaestos saying, the skill I'm bestowing upon you is the master of supremacy. He wonders, wait, could it be because of that skill? So he decides to test the skill out on the soil. He holds a simple wooden hoe and gets ready. Let's try this. He swings it down, shouting, activate, master of supremacy or something. Norio gasps in absolute disbelief. For real, a massive wave of dirt rises from the ground like an explosion. The earth is perfectly plowed in a massive circle around him. He drops his hoe shocked. This can't be. He looks at the perfectly tilled land stretching out. He asks himself in shock, what in the world is this? The entire field was plowed in a split second. A massive agricultural field is created instantly out of the rocky dirt. He looks at the soil thinking, It feels like I plowed it instantly. He is amazed. I'll try plowing some more of this land. He checks the dirt closer. Let's check this out. Plowed soil is incredibly rich, dark, and perfect for farming. He even spots healthy earthworms wriggling in the new dirt. He realizes, and it's only this large because I imagined how a crop field should be. He figures out his power. It takes the efficiency of anything I'm holding and multiplies it to a crazy degree. He holds up the hoe. That's exactly how it works. He smiles at the incredible potential of his master of supremacy skill. He realizes he can craft, build, until at absolute godlike speeds. Norio sits back on the grass, satisfied. I'm done. He plans, if I can harvest crops like this, then I won't have to worry about food supplies. He thinks, but even so, it'll take a while for seeds to grow. Until then, I'll fish for dinner. He reflects, it might be a slower life than the one I ran from, but thanks to Hephaestos, I'll manage. He thanks the goddess. Thank you for the wonderful skill, Hephaestos. After I have grown rice, I'll sacrifice some rice balls to you. She looked like she really liked rice balls. Suddenly, his fishing line pulls hard. Is this a big one? The rod bends like crazy. Oh, it's coming. He pulls with all his strength as waves splash around. He reels in the heavy catch, trying not to snap the line. He pulls it out of the water and gasps. Wait, did I just catch a girl? He is in total shock. I fished up a girl. The creature grunts as she lands on the shore. She is not a girl. He looks at her. As expected of another world, there are mermaids. Hey, you land dweller, how dare you fish me out like that? Norio's sweat drops. If she's that hostile, reasoning with her is going to be tough. She points at him and shouts, since I got fished by you, you have to marry me. Norio is completely stunned by her sudden demand. He thinks, while thinking that, the distance suddenly dropped to 0. He yells in panic, no, wait, what?